What is the most overrated TV show? 13 Reasons Why should have ended in season 1. I ended up watching the 3rd and 4th season because of a YouTube channel that does commentaries of different channels and movies. It was highly entertaining watching it in that manner because the show got so ridiculous by the end, you just had to laugh. Every season Clay got progressively more and more unhinged, and yet everyone just kept letting him walk around like it was normal, no matter how many times he started screaming in the hallways. What the fuck do the later seasons do? They find out why the girl killed herself at the end of 1, right? Isn't that the whole point of the show? Spoilers. Season 2, Bryce goes on trial. Season 3, Bryce gets killed, and there's this new girl that basically adds nothing of value to the plot that narrates the whole thing just to make the season stretch out long enough. Season 4 has no actual plot and is quite possibly the worst made television I have ever seen, aside from a specific episode of a show just not hitting. I didn't hate season 1 since I liked the book well enough. Didn't like the bathtub scene or the hot tub scene, but the rest of it was fine. Season 2 plus? No. The bathroom scene with Tyler did it for me. I had to take a break after that. The Flash, season 5 onwards, it's just the same shit again and again. Barry thinks he's not fast enough to beat the bad guy, then he gets fast enough to beat the bad guy. Something new, please. I love season 1 of The Flash, but I started to feel the way you do about season 2 onwards. In addition to the why do you keep saying you're the fastest man alive if the villain is always faster, Barry is supposed to be super smart, but he keeps making really stupid decisions that the writers put in there just to add more drama. Like, there was a whole episode dedicated to him letting go of his mom's death, and then like 2 episodes later he goes back in time to stop her from dying and screws up the timeline. Like, what? Being a biologist, I found it amusing how the authors use sciencey sounding words that they clearly don't understand. It's like how Hollywood likes to use quantum as a general science prefix. I vaguely recall a scene where a character claimed to have recalibrated the spectrophotometer to detect anomalies so that it can scan the city to find superpowered people. That is not what spectrophotometry means. Or you just don't know how to calibrate it as well. I concur. Konokorov should be retested in spectrophotometry recalibration before he's allowed to practice biology again. But on the plus side, if I fail that test and my biology license gets taken away, I'll have a tragic backstory for when I turn into a mad scientist and become a Flash villain. Perhaps I'll gain superpowers when a tragic spectroscopy experiment goes wrong. But I mainly work with, ecology of, beetles, so I guess I'll create an army of mutated beetle monsters then. They already did that with the Bee Girl. Get your own shtick. I loved the first few episodes of Flash. It was interesting, new characters or villains. But you're absolutely right. It just became the feel bad for Barry show, and I just kept shaking my head like, isn't this guy supposed to be the fastest? Can we let him be the fastest? I recently started up season 6 just to see what I'm missing. It's definitely not the same, and now there's a lot of universe mixing going on. Also, I have never ever been a fan of Iris since the absolute very beginning. Now there's a lot of universe mixing going on. That's exactly why I quit watching. I could tolerate the whole gotta get faster to beat this guy that's faster than me stuff because hey, fuck it. But like, I'm watching The Flash. If I wanted to watch other shows to keep up with the story, I'd already be watching them. So when you have a crossover episode that tries to get me to watch some other show, all it's doing is keeping me from watching the full plot. They put The Flash getting married in a crossover episode on another show. I thought I could just watch The Flash and ignore the other shows, but apparently I'm the dumb one. I think the issue with any story about super fast superheroes is that if they are indeed the fastest creature in the world, it would be very difficult to come up with, and keep coming up with, villains that actually pose as a threat. If the hero can evade all of their attacks with superior speed and attack before the bad guy can react, there would be no exciting battles. The problem with the Flash as a character is that if he ever operated at his full potential, there would never be any crime anywhere on Earth. He is literally fast enough to be anywhere on Earth, essentially at the same time, based on his fastest feats. He's like the space shuttle of track and field. Saying he's fast is laughably inadequate. Doesn't he run to the edge of the universe and back in like a microsecond or something in one comic? Like 1 trillion times the speed of light? Yeah, he could be a literal god on Earth, literally everywhere at once.